Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. So every morning my life and my world is defined by a 1:1 scale of precision. I look into a microscopic landscape of a human tooth through my magnifying loupe. Yes, I'm a dentist and I'm a classical dancer as well. By day, I practice general dentistry, and as the sun sets, my white coat comes off and my dancing bells go on. Something similar to this. I asked AI to create this image. So doing this for the past 25 years, these dancing bells have been my second heartbeat. I started dancing at a tender age of 4, and ever since, dance has been my obsession and the very essence of my life. And it has shaped me to who I am today. So, for the past 25 years, as I danced, and back then little did I know anything about cultural preservation. So, all I was bothered about is if my dance teacher was smiling when I got my step right. Well, to have a healthy smile, you need to have a very strong foundation. That is your roots and your jawbones. They provide a very strong base and a strength to have a healthy smile. Similarly, in our lives, to have a meaningful future, we need to be extremely rooted and grounded. And how does that come? So in my talk, I will be telling you about these kind of traditional roots and cultural forms. Because I do not consider classical dance as a relic of the past, but as a compass to the modern future. So I know there are brilliant students in the audience here today in front of me, and I understand the weight of hustling. Because in such a competitive society and world, to dream is one thing, but in order to execute your dream almost feels impossible. And for me, hustling has kind of been my thing. It has always been my thing, and it is even now. So I'll just give you an instance. So this was during my post-graduation days. I have an exam tomorrow, so I have my dental books right in front of me. And I have a seminar to prepare that evening itself. So I have my PPT that I have to prepare. And in another hour, I have a dance class. I used to take online dance classes at the time, so I had to schedule that dance class as well. And over the weekend, I have a rehearsal for which I have to practice. All of this in the same day. So I started slowly thinking, where do I start from? And as I thought more about it, a panic in me arose, and it peaked. My overthinking peaked, and there was this big question. Maybe I should choose one important thing. So maybe I should focus on becoming a doctor now, and let dance go. So immediately got a heartbreak, and then I'm like, no, let me just decide first. I took out a book and I took out a paper. I took out a book and a pen. I started noting down 4 to 5 p.m. studies, 5 to 6 I'll finish my online dance class, 6 to 7 I'll sit and prepare the PPT for my seminar, and so on. And making this list itself relieved me a little bit. And then I started checking off the list. That helped me a lot. My mental fog was gone. And all this organization, timetable, all of this is nothing but discipline. And that I did not learn from any college. Yes, college does teach you. But I learned it from my dance class. And I'm so happy and proud that I learned it from there. Because it was there since 25 years. And as I grew, it stayed with me. Because the decision was never hard. To make a hard decision, to decide that you want a particular thing is what needs work. And that's what I did. And since the age of 4, that's what my dance teacher has been teaching me. The discipline to make my dance teacher smile at the right step. That involved a lot of practice. And the same discipline that has made me a dance teacher today. Similarly, the same discipline that fetched me state ranks, the same discipline that put me through elaborate dental exams and elaborate Bharatanatyam exams, and the same discipline that has made me establish a career in dentistry and dance. And it is not despite of dance that I have a career, but it is because of dance that I have a career, and I owe it to dance. And moving on, we are surrounded in this world together with a lot of global cultures around us. right? And we think it is modern and cool to abandon our old cultures and traditions because we want to seem cooler and want to seem trendy. But I think that's a myth because we see an empty auditorium and think that classical dance is irrelevant in these days. At least that's what's been happening now. So, but that's not the case, right? When you think about it really, classical dance has a lot of importance in today's society. Think of it like a tree, like in the screen here. So your careers, your progress, your social media, your degrees, everything are the branches of the tree that are growing into the sky, right? But why does this tree not fall off during a huge storm or a problem that occurs in your life? Because its roots are deeply anchored into the earth. Similarly, I feel that you can always embrace your global traditions and global customs without abandoning your old traditions and culture. So, I have been teaching for the past 7 to 8 years. I teach Bharatanatyam. I used to teach a little bit of Bollywood as well. And right now my niche is Bharatanatyam. And I really enjoy teaching this. And I feel it is a very divine experience because as I teach, I have really tiny kids that I teach and they are my blessing. I call them a blessing because they don't just shower you with respect and love. But they are so much into questions, they have so much curiosity in knowing, ma'am, why are we using such hastas? What is the story depicting? Why are you telling us this story? It's so and so. And I feel all this is called emotional literacy. Now what is emotional literacy? So I gave them 2 narratives. The first narrative was, girls depict this. It is a rainy day and the cows in the village are dancing happily in the rain. So they showed me something like this. It's a rainy day. The cows in the village are happily dancing. Right, it's a very simple and easy. Then I twisted the narrative a little bit. I told them it's a rainy night. It's pouring cats and dogs. The villagers are scared. The thunder and lightning is piercing through the sky into the village. And the cows, the cattle and other animals are so frightened. They're feeling chilly and cold in the rain. And they portrayed something like this. It's a rainy night. The cows have nowhere to go and they're trembling with fear. The narrative changed and their expressions changed. Their abhinaya, we call them abhinaya and Bharatanatyam and other classical dance forms. So when you see kids portraying a small different change in a narration, that means their emotional intelligence is in abundance. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. Their emotional intelligence and the way they perceive things, they become much kinder people and they know their behavior, how to behave with people. They learn discipline and they know how to talk to people, so their personality improves. They don't just see dance as a hobby, but they start imbibing the very essence that dance actually is. Correct? And when such traditional art forms are lost, we don't just lose a stage performance or entertainment, but we lose the capacity to think and express. And we lose the attention span that a 25-year-old journey like mine requires. And I don't teach dance because I want to use it as a medium of entertainment. I teach dance because I want those little kids, that generation, to find their center and their purpose in such a chaotic world, like I found mine. Because without dance, I don't think any of this would have been possible. I wouldn't stand here. Let me start with that. So moving on, Bharatanatyam is not just a stage performance or a temple art. The ancient traditions of Bharatanatyam have leaked into the very fabric of the modern future, the present day life. And coming from buildings, designing buildings, or clothing that we wear, even the exercises that we do, is an inspo from the old. So let me show you a few aspects. This is a photo of me in a half-sitting position, and this is called Aramandi or Ardhamandi in Bharatanatyam. It is a half-sitting posture wherein your core is very tight and your legs form a beautiful series of triangles. So this posture is a geometric precision and it is beautifully kept in Bharatanatyam, and almost 90% of our dances is done in this posture. Why is it so important? It has its own physical advantages, like a core of steel, extremely good strength in your lower body, and a spectacular spine for life. But apart from this, this is a spectacular geometric precision. Look at how they have invented all of this. It is a series of triangles that are formed. You can see in this slide. So a triangle is considered to be a very stable geometric pattern. Right? So this is a statue of cosmic dancer Lord Nataraja Swami at CERN, the European Center for Nuclear Research in Switzerland. It stands magnificently over there in the home of particle physics. And this old symbol is actually dancing in the subatomic particles. So about Lord Nataraja, this is the golden ratio or phi. What is the golden ratio? A golden ratio is something that is pleasing to the eye, and that's how the universe runs. Correct? It is the perfect mathematical representation, and this posture of Lord Nataraja Swami has the perfect golden ratio. And in Chidambaram, it is proven to be the center of equatorial gravity. And they have different books inscribed and inspired by the posture of Lord Nataraja Swami. And it is very proud moment for me. It is a very proud moment for me because we almost have such kind of postures in the entire curriculum of Bharatanatyam. So moving on, I would like to add a note on the physical advantages of Bharatanatyam. So this, what you are seeing with the program list, is from my Arangetram. Arangetram is a traditional repertoire of a series of dance events that we do. So I almost performed 7 to 8 dance pieces, carried about for 2.5 hours. Imagine 2.5 hours a dancer is dancing continuously. Imagine the kind of strength and resilience, power that the dancer requires. And how does that come from? Of course, years of training and years of discipline. From this kind of repertoire, what do you gain? You don't just gain entertainment or fame, but it's the feeling of satisfaction towards the end of the performance that we gain. And to perform such a tedious work, it requires deep work. What psychologists call today is cognitive development in your brain. Because in Natya Shastra, it is a holy book we consider as special in Bharatanatyam. It says, Yato hasta tato drishti, yato drishti tato mana tato bhava tato rasa. What does this mean? If we are showing a hasta, the eyes follow the hasta, and when my eyes are following the hasta, I start to emote something that the audience will feel. So it started from my hasta to your emotions. That's how movies are portrayed. You get angry when there's an angry scene, and then you get emotional when there is an emotional scene portrayed. Similarly, it is called the Navarasa Bhava. So when I am expressing all my Navarasas, if you are able to imbibe them, it is considered the biggest satisfaction for a dancer. And that's what specially happens in my Arangetram. I did remember those happy tears during the end of my performance. So for this to happen, for the Yato Hasta Tato Drishti to happen, it means that your cognitive development is spectacular, right? If this is not cognitive development, then I don't know what it is, because we don't just use our eyes or our hands. We are using upper body, we are using lower body, all to a particular rhythm, tala and the song. Our ears are paying attention to the song. The stage presence itself is divine. So what you see here is screenshots of reels from Instagram. I'm pretty sure especially students would have been watching a lot of reels every day, and you would have seen tiny storytelling. What is this called? Digital marketing. Like how does this digital storytelling come into place? Because of using micro expression. Like how I showed you the hastats and everything. Micro expression uses eyebrow movement or griva bedhas, eye movement or drishti bedhas, neck movement, and so on. Bhru Vedas, Griva Vedas. So we have all Sanskrit terms for all this. And these put together in those 15-20 seconds give you those extremely aesthetic looking reels. And this is becoming a trend now. Moving on to the global icons. So this is Aishwarya Rai from the movie Jean. She does a little semi-classical routine in this movie and it became a global sensation. And what does this tell you? I am global, but I am rooted. That's what it's telling you, right? And coming to the solkattus. So what I call these are solkattus. In Bharatanatyam, we say a certain jatis. Our jatis are formed with complex sayings. Solu means to say and kattu the rhythm. So we have ta, ki, ta as in 3, takka, dhimi 4, takka, takkita 5, takkita, takka, dhimi 7, takka, dhimi, takka, rakkita 9. So these are mathematical numbers that you see. It seems simple now, but when you are forming jatis, jatis is basically a mixture of all these solkattus together and different adavus together, different kinds of steps. When all these intricate solkattus and adavus come together, they form a complex jati that you see and you perceive it as aesthetic. And this is a picture of me. I think I was 8 years old, and this is a very recent photo. Why I put this is because nothing has changed in the picture. I don't think anything has changed in the picture except everything has changed in this. Right? So I would like to throw back to myself for where I was before and where I have reached, yet not changed a little bit. That the theme for today is Udbhav, to ignite. And to ignite means I do not want you to wear on your dancing bells and start dancing. What I meant to say is be a little more curious, ask questions and know that you are coming from somewhere. Be traditionally rooted because you are representing India, you are representing your community, you are representing your culture, right? And because the more you reach out into the sky like the branches of the tree, the roots must be extremely anchored to the earth. And reconnect to yourself, reconnect and be within your rhythm so that people can see how kind you are, how disciplined you are. So I think the next generation, if they start with a little bit of kindness everywhere they go and a little bit of discipline, we can be something else. Thank you.